good morning, everyone, and thank you all for joining us. You know, why are you laughing, Alvin? You know what I'm going to say. If you want to be in a fight in Washington on behalf of the people you serve, then you want Bill Pascrell in that fight with you, because no one fights harder. So thank you, Congressman Pascrell, for all of your service and your leadership, particularly in this regard, where your name is synonymous with the work on behalf of firefighters. So we appreciate your service. It's great to be back at the North Hudson Regional Fire and Rescue, the firehouse where Chief Donnarumma leads such incredible work and people, and to stand alongside of the leaders and advocates for our firefighters. I want to thank the professional firefighters, New Jersey President Steve McConaughey, for joining us. Thank you, Steve, as well as Carlos Mercado of the New Jersey FMBA. It's great to have you with us. And of course, in addition to Congressman Pascrell, I'm thrilled to be here with Congressman Menendez, who is making his own mark in the House of Representatives, two outstanding public servants who I've known, albeit in different ways, for decades. And of course, least but not last, the mayors of West New York and Weehawken, as well as our former colleague in the House of Representatives, former mayor of West New York, former speaker of the New Jersey Assembly, Alvio Series. Alvio, is always great to see you as well. As a former mayor myself, I've always said being mayor is the toughest job in America. Everyone knows you, everyone's got an opinion, and everyone wants to let you know their opinion. So it is a very tough but rewarding job in terms of changing the course of events for the people who you call home. So let me thank the mayors for their constant effort. When I was a mayor, and my dear friend and colleague, the late Bruce Walter, was part with Mayor Turner and others in creating the regional fire effort, and it made such a big difference for our communities. We're here today to announce a number of federal actions being taken for firefighters in New Jersey and around the country. Congressman Pascrell just spoke eloquently about his bipartisan bill to bolster the Public Safety Officers Benefits Program. This legislation, called Honoring Our Fallen Heroes Act, would strengthen a crucial safety net for first responders and their families to rely upon. It would recognize, at long last, the elevated risk of cancer in firefighters while providing them presumptive benefits under federal law. Presumptive benefits, a legal term, but it makes all the difference in the world. It means that the presumption is on their behalf, not that they have to prove it, but that the presumption is on their behalf. It's just one example in a long track record of successes that I'm proud to have shared with him on this journey, from our days as junior members of the House of Representatives to our bill in 2018 that established the Firefighter Cancer Registry Program in the first place. Congressman Pascrell has been an essential partner as we've worked together to support firefighters and their families. This year, in fact, just this last week, we co-led a letter calling for additional funding for the Cancer Registry in Congress's spending bill. It's the latest installment in what has become a storied tradition of Menendez-Pascrell measures, or, depending upon who you talk about, Pascrell-Menendez measures, but in any event, it's been together. Nonetheless, vital measures that advance our understanding of service-related cancers. Now, these two measures, the Honor Act and our latest appropriation letter, complement two other key priorities for the firefighting community. Reauthorization for FEMA's Assistance to Firefighters Grant, or the AFG program, and its staffing for adequate fire and emergency response grant, or the SAFER grant, are included in a bill that we are expected in the Senate to vote on next week when we gavel back into session. And as Bill has said, this is one of the most successful pieces of legislation that have become law on behalf of our firefighters across the country. The AFG and SAFER grant programs are truly cornerstones of our effort to recruit and retain firefighters in New Jersey. Since 2015, these two funding streams have distributed more than $2 $100 million to communities throughout the Garden State. Simply put, these federal dollars make New Jerseyans safer. They helped fire departments purchase equipment. They developed fire safety and education programming, and they improved their EMS capabilities. I think, as Chief Donnarumma can attest to, when the federal government steps in to empower our local fire departments, our firefighters are better trained, better equipped, and better prepared for whatever comes their way when they hear the bell ring. In the coming weeks and months, I look forward to seeing progress on all of these fronts. The Honor Act, our efforts to boost funding for the Firefighter Cancer Registry, and the reauthorization of FEMA grant programs. We'll vote on it in the Senate next week. I know it will pass, and then I believe the House will lead the way to make it a final road to the President's desk. Now, make no mistake, this advocacy isn't either or, it's both and. And it's part and parcel of our strategy to be there for our firefighters and their unions when they need it the most. After all, every single day, they show up ready to answer the call. Today, we answer the call for them. It is our solemn duty and responsibility as public servants to care for those who rush into burning buildings when others are fleeing away, to those who put their lives on the line. And we need not wait until there is a tragedy to then acknowledge their sacrifice. We need to stand up at the beginning and express our appreciation for them in ways that help them meet their mission, that help them stay healthy, and that deal with their families when they commit the ultimate sacrifice. To support every family, every single one, who has a loved one diagnosed with cancer as a result of their service. Each one of them answers the call as well. And some of them, like Edward Diaz, who his family is here with us, not only his son, but his entire family is here with us. On behalf of a grateful state, we thank you for what Edward did and how he lived his life. And his son, who is here, who picks up the torch for him as well. His father, a D-N.J firefighter out of North Bergen, passed away in 2017 after contracting pancreatic cancer. Today, his son carries on his family's legacy of service as a volunteer firefighter in Hasbrook Heights. This is why we are here. Because firefighting is more than a job, it's a calling. It's the very definition of service, and it's the greatest love letter you can send your community. It is why, as public servants, we'll continue to be there for firefighters, as long as it takes, through any obstacles in our way, until we finish the job. And now, I used to be as tall as him when I first started, but the time and circumstances have chopped me down a bit. But it's my pleasure to turn it over to a member of Congress who also knows a thing or two about picking up the torch and upholding a legacy of service, Congressman Robert Menendez.